Hey guys, Ben here, and welcome back to another live stream. Today is episode 39 of the DCTV show. We are here with Eric. We're going to be talking about this week in DCTV. Obviously, I think the only show was The Flash. Well, definitely the only show I watched.
Yeah, I thought
Eric.
Legends was on, but I went to watch it and there's no new Legends episode, so it was just The Flash this week. So.
I don't know if it's just me or Tuesday night and last week. I went to check, because, Superman Lois starts after The Flash. Mm-hmm. Every week I was like, well, maybe there's a new Superman Lois episode. Just in the back of my head, hoping, but no. Anyway.
We were watching it live, and when the rerun started, I was like, is there a new episode? And then it was like, no, it's just the rerun.
No, that's exactly me. For the last 2 weeks, I've been like, is there a new episode? What?
Yeah, it's a shame.
But so welcome to the live stream for everyone who is just joining. Like I said, we're mainly going to be talking about The Flash today, but if you have any questions or anything you want to bring up on the stream, please be sure to obviously comment in the chat as always. But the best way to get your questions answered by me and Eric is by sending in super chats. It's pretty easy to do. All you click is the $ underneath the chat, and you can send in your topic or question, and I'm going to pop up on the screen, and me and Eric are both going to give our thoughts and opinions on your question. And so, we obviously have a lot of topics to go through because a lot went down this week on The Flash. But let's start off with general thoughts. What do you guys think about all of this? Let us know in the chat. And Eric, you go first. Thoughts on The Flash this week overall?
I'm glad that it feels like The Flash again. We've had so many episodes this season that didn't feel like The Flash to me. So this one was another one where I feel like it is very much the show that I loved, loved, watching and got me invested in the show and stuff. There's minor nitpicks, but overall, I think that they're back. Like, this feels more like what the show should actually be. So.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat, and I think most people are in the same boat, that we've been all waiting for the Godspeed stuff to happen. I feel like, we got to the Forces storyline towards the end. Everyone just kind of gave up on that. Like, I know a lot of people, like Flash First in the chat, for instance, he skipped out on at least a couple of episodes or one episode. I've seen other people online tell me, oh, I skipped out on these episodes because they just didn't care about it,
Well, to be fair, those episodes, they wouldn't have even mattered. Like right now, you could have skipped those completely and it would not have mattered. The only thing that may have tied in is you might be a little confused on the Ultraviolet stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, none of it really mattered. So
exactly. So, with all of that, I think people who are sort of very disappointed because lots of people are like, oh, The Flash is the worst show and it's the worst that it's ever been. And now coming back to the Godspeed stuff, everyone has jumped back on board because, and I think Canadagraphs has said this a couple of times. He said it yesterday in the after party, that basically if The Flash just did an okay job with the Godspeed storyline, we're pretty sure most people would have liked it compared to what came before. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, let's be fair here. The Flash only has to be average to be good because the show has such a strong story, like the characters and everything. If it's just an average episode, most people are going to be happy with it.
Yeah.
It's when it's glaringly bad is when you start to get into rough waters. And the thing is that this week we see that the show actually works. All you have to do is make the show about the character.
Yeah.
That's really it. If you make the show about Barry, if you make it about the Flash, most people are going to be happy with it. It doesn't matter if it's average or not. That's really why you tune into the show. This just proves that the filler stuff is not what people want. People don't want episodes about the third tier characters on the show. They just don't want that. No offense to any of them, but if you're not one of the main 2 or 3 characters, it's not worth it to give a character an entire episode, especially when it's a mediocre story. It's great to say that, but if you can't execute it, that's a problem. So I think that it's absolutely true that you could give us an average episode and people are going to be happy with it because it's about Barry.
Yeah.
So
it's about Barry. People are going to care about that. Obviously, like I've said a couple of times, I really enjoyed the Cisco episode when he left. I really enjoyed the Chester episode earlier in the season. I know not everyone's on the same page with that episode. However, I think it does, like in instances, it does work when it's not directly about the Flash. But excluding him fully, like in the Allegra episode, was it? Excluding him fully, that took away from everyone. Like everyone was like, "What?"
But I have a theory about that. It's not just not having the Flash there. It's like if you look at the Cisco episode, you know why that episode worked and it wasn't revolving around the Flash, because Cisco is like a top 3 or 4 character on the show.
Yeah,
he's a character that's been around for a while. Everybody loves him. Everybody understands the character. The Chester episode included Cisco, the one that you liked, which also made it a pretty good episode or whatever. The Allegra episode literally was an episode that stood on the shoulders of the supporting characters.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't work.
And like Caitlin was there. Caitlin was there, but she did nothing.
No.
So it doesn't
it wasn't like when Cisco was in the Chester episode. That
was like the two of them leading that episode, wasn't it?
Right. So. Yeah. There was only one part of that episode that Cisco felt detached from, and that was the part with Chester and his father. But that was important because we needed that for character development. So yeah.
No, I'm totally on the same page with that. And so overall, my thoughts about this episode, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the episode before. I do think it's more like The Flash. It's speedster stuff. It's mystery. Like we said last week on the show, we said, I really like mystery. You like mystery. And it's something that gets fans excited every week because
I love the mystery. I love the mystery of it right now.
Yeah, me too. And it's like, after all, the idea of a show like this that runs like nearly 20 episodes a season, you need people to be excited to come back every single week.
Right.
If you do Allegra episodes like what they did, Cecile episodes like week to week to week, no one's going to be that interested to come back. You know?
Well, because there's no mystery with those characters. They're not fully fleshed out. The biggest issue with Allegra right now is we still don't know who she is. We still don't know. Yeah. Like every Allegra story this season has been tied with Ultraviolet. And let's be honest, Ultraviolet's more interesting than Allegra.
And she's not even that interesting.
Right. Exactly. And that's the biggest issue. I know Eric wants Allegra to work, and I think Allegra could work. But Allegra is like 4th tier on the show when it comes to characters. She's not even like you've got Team Flash, then you've got extended Team Flash, then you have the Team Citizen characters or whatever. Allegra still feels like a Team Citizen character that's just in Star Labs once in a while.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel like Team Flash, and that's the problem.
Yeah, and I'm totally on the same page, and like I think personally one of the biggest storylines that doesn't work is the journalism stuff. I think the Citizen. I don't believe that it's a real team. I believe that Iris is a journalist. I believe that. I don't believe that Camilla works for her. I don't believe when Allegra says, "Oh, boss," it just feels fake because to me that they are like kind of friends, but I've never seen them really doing much journalism apart from like Allegra. Maybe like a couple of episodes, she went to a crime scene, I remember, and she tried to catch a guy going past for an interview. I think that's like the most we've ever seen. So that's quite unbelievable.
Why couldn't we have had the episode with Allegra as the separate episode, a journalism episode, where she does something photography or something like that? Instead, it was about Ultraviolet. It was weird.
Yeah. It was weird, and we'll get back to Ultraviolet and her death.
Okay.
In a minute, but we have a super chat from Joseph Smith. Thank you so much, Joseph. He sends in a $5 super chat. Joseph says, "How about Flash, Speedster Iris, Kids? How about Flash, Speedster Iris, and Kids versus Godspeeds?" So yes, this is going down. I think Speedster Iris might not happen next episode, but definitely in the finale, we're going to have Speedster Iris. I mean, I don't know if Iris is in like the whole of next episode. I don't know. I kind of feel like she has to be.
If they don't at this point, the Iris fans are going to riot. They have to have Iris back. I mean, that's just the way it is. And the storyline feels, and we'll talk about this more later on, but I have an issue with just how weird this family storyline is without Iris being present. But anyway.
Yeah. And that is going down you're right, Joseph. Flash, Speedster Iris, and the kids, that being Bart Allen and Nora West Allen as well. I keep on calling him Bart Allen, but he should be Bart West Allen. I don't know.
Yes,
anyway, that's just
be,
what we call him by the comic book name. But yeah, they're going to be facing off against the Godspeeds, and that's going to be going down. And then we'll see if we get the real Godspeed from the future. I'm presuming he's going to show up in the final episode.
I would think so, yeah.
Probably at the end of the 150th episode, right?
And then the final episode the finale will be them facing off against like
just him rather than all the clones. Do you think?
I would think so, and I also think that it'll probably be because they've been driving family home this season. It will probably take the whole family to stop him. If I had to guess,
like the whole Flash family, including someone else that was on the set, and maybe Jay Garrick as well, who we know is coming back. So it's going to be a whole Flash family team up.
Which, to be fair, I think a lot of people want to see that, and I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. I think it's kind of cool, actually. So
no, I think it's awesome. I really can't wait. And I mean, I think now I haven't been as excited as I am these last 2 weeks as I have been the whole season.
Why couldn't we have had a real Flash family season, like where they set this up through the whole season? Like it just. I have not seen more excitement for the Flash this year until like the last couple weeks from everybody. So
as soon as the Godspeed stuff was coming, people were like, okay, we're interested. Like people who dropped off were like, I'm coming back. I'm watching the Godspeed stuff. We know that Bart Allen's coming. We know Nora's showing up. And like people who didn't even really like Nora in season 5, I feel like they're still excited, to see her back, or these returning characters. So good question, Joseph, and thanks so much for supporting the channel and the super chat. Okay, so let's go back and talk about let's finish off the Ultraviolet stuff whilst we're at it.
All right.
I mean, she dies, and
waste of time.
My notes,
it was a waste of time story.
Okay, ... fine. Like, sure, we're doing this. Yeah. Any thoughts?
I just the whole time it was happening, I'm like, we spent all this time redeeming this character who never actually got redeemed. If you think about it, she never really got redeemed. She had a moment where she was like a little bit more vulnerable, like in terms of like her relationship with her cousin, but she never was truly redeemed. And then we tried to shift the blame to Allegra, which, by the way, if you guys don't remember, Ultraviolet has been hunting Allegra since they were like younger. Like it's been like a decade of her being chased by her cousin to try and kill her. I found it a little odd that they so quickly resolved Allegra's issues with Esperanza and had her go and support her as family or whatever after everything that's happened. I'm not saying she should completely shun her, but for her to like do that and then only to have Esperanza die after Caitlin just spent 3 episodes basically fixing her. I'm like, what a waste of time. What a complete waste of time.
Also,
what was stopping her from going after Black Hole before? Because they said that device was a muzzle for her, but that doesn't mean she couldn't still go after them. Like it was just so now that she's not muzzled anymore, now all of a sudden she feels the need to go after Black Hole. It was like I didn't understand that storyline at all. It just was really, really bad.
Yeah, it was bad, and I think you said this yesterday on the after party, but like imagine being Caitlin right now and just like finding out. Okay, Ultraviolet's just died. Sure.
After you spent all that time designing that technology to save her life.
Yeah, and then she just goes out and dies. Also, by the way, my my TV, it glitched out when just before the scene was happening, and it jumped right into her being dead, and I was like, sure.
Yeah, it was a cool effect though. It was a cool effect, but
yeah,
they spent all that money on that effect and nothing on Allegra's storyline.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from Ultraviolet and Allegra. Allegra's obviously going to stick around. No more Ultraviolets at times. I don't know what they're going to do with Allegra next. Like, do you think
first it was Wells, then it was Ultraviolet? I guess the Chester storyline, the Chuck storyline, as she likes to call him, which is.
I still can't believe she calls him.
So Chuck. First of all, Chuck is not a nickname for Chester. Chuck is a nickname for Charles. So I don't know why they're calling him Chuck.
No. It's because she initially thought he was called Chuck, and so she still doesn't know his real name.
That's stupid. Secondly, it's supposed to be a play on Chunk, which is his actual name in the comics. He's actually a really big guy, so they call him Chester P. Runk Chunk is his, because it rhymes with his last name.
Yeah.
But on the show, they're trying to like make a play on that with Chuck, and I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just stupid. Like, it's just dumb. Why not cast a bigger guy if you want to tell that joke? Like, you had the power. You're the showrunner. You had control over that character. It just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, and that's just like one nitpick out of lots that I have, and I think a lot of us have. But
they're trying to put her in a relationship with him, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, they haven't followed through with that since they did that at the end of the episode. But okay, let's talk about the Godspeed stuff. So for you guys that are in the chat, let us know, what do you think of Godspeed right now and all the revelations we had when the Godspeed was captured, because a lot went down from the point where Diggle, obviously, who was in this episode, he used the device and they were able to trap him. It was really cool. We said that. And Godspeed actually reveals a lot here. And I don't know, for me, that scene where he reveals that he's just been listening and talking, I kind of got chills. I was like, dude, that's kind of scary. He's just listening in the whole time. What do you think about it?
It gave me like Zoom vibes a little bit. Like, because Reverse Flash is threatening, but Reverse Flash is also very talky. Like, he likes to chat and like, do the typical bad guy stuff. Whereas Zoom just kind of was threatening, just standing there.
Kind of like.
Yeah, and so I got that vibe. I think a lot of it has to do also that we can't see his eyes, which makes it even creepier, because we have that like white or silver type eyes or whatever, or black. I don't remember what they are. They're
black.
Yeah. Either way, you can't see them, so it makes it really, really, really difficult to like see what's going on, and that makes it super scary as well. But yeah, that shocked me when he actually said translation's not necessary or whatever. I was like, so he's been assessing information while he's standing there, which is crazy.
Yeah, and so some of the information that he reveals is very crucial. Like, it's a lot that they reveal. I'm like, okay, so they're really getting into this, right? So in my notes, I wrote down, one team wants to kill Prime August Hart is what they called him. So, the real August Hart, not the clones. And then the other team is working for the future August, trying to get their master Infinite Velocity. So that's the group we saw in previous seasons. That last clone that could talk was like, we want Infinite Velocity. And, that's what the original team is hoping for. But then you have the Splinter team that are trying to kill Prime August Hart. And so they just don't want it to go on. So what do you think about those reveals?
They kept it very simple, which I'm glad, because we're at the end of the season. I didn't want it to be too complicated. So it's just these two factions that are fighting, and there's like a civil war between them. And I do have a few questions though. Like, we had a different August Hart back, a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to end up being the quote unquote prime August Hart or not. I don't know if Crisis changed something. Not totally sure. We're not 100% on that. We don't really know how the August Hart that we met, the one that lost his memories, how he's going to work at all of this. But I'm glad that they made it pretty simple. It's so simple that it's almost complicated. Like, if you think about it too much, you're like, okay, is this like, what else is actually going on? Is there more? Because it seems so surface level. But I think it's good that they kept it that way, because as viewers, it seems like they're trying to, like, I don't want to say dumb down, but simplify a lot of the complications within the seasons. And so I think this works a little bit better, but I still like the mystery. So they're still giving me the mystery, but they're still also making things a little bit less complicated. So I guess I can live with that, because you think about like the Savitar season, there was a mystery after mystery after mystery, but there was also an overcomplication of everything as well. So I kind of like that this one's a little bit less complicated, but we still have the mystery. So
yeah, no, I like that it's not super complicated, and we kind of know exactly what's going on now, so we can properly explore that, and that is very, very exciting. And also we got the reveal of the Prime August Hart in our timeline, so present day, before he's become August Hart. I was a little bit confused about him being in the alleyway and being like, I don't know why I'm here, like, I feel stuff. But how does that make sense if it's
I don't know. I also so that is the one probably most complicated thing about the story, because we know we have Nora's journal, and Nora's journal had that location listed, which is why Cecile and Frost and Chester went looking for him, whatever, and that's where he was. And so we know that's an important spot, I guess. We don't know why. Maybe that's possible locations where he can come from or whatever. I don't know. But either way, I don't know if this particular August Heart is, the future August Heart after he's lost his memory, if it's like timey-wimey like that, or if this is the August Heart that was born in our time and travels to the future. Like, I'm not totally sure how that is going to work. That's probably the biggest mystery, is like, what is this August Heart's connection to the prime August Heart from the future? So I'm not sure. I think it's possible that he's from our time and he goes to the future, maybe. I don't know.
No, I think that's possible, and I'm not sure if we're gonna see like Prime August Heart becoming Godspeed. I'm not necessarily sure, but in regards to what you mentioned to do with the Godspeed, the August Heart we saw in season 5, I think that they are just ignoring it. I think that they're saying it's a crisis thing. That's just the way I've interpreted it, so that they can just recast and have an actor who they intend to be for like more than one episode, because I think that guy was just a one-off.
One episode, and I think that Canadagraphs says that he's an actor in Vancouver, so they probably hired him for that one job or whatever. But if they've got this guy, they may actually sign him on with the potential to come back later. Because if we don't actually kill Godspeed, which I don't think they will, but if we don't do that, then there's always a potential that he could come back later on. So what if him being here in this time creates Godspeed? I mean, what if this August Heart, the one that we know, what if this Civil War is the one that creates him from the beginning? So
I don't know. I guess it is definitely a possibility, and there is lots of options. But for now, let's go ahead and answer Cal's super chat. Thank you very much. Cal sends in a $1.99 super chat. Thanks for supporting the channel. So Cal says, it seems like Diggle could be Green Lantern. Now, this is obviously a topic I was going to bring up, so we might as well jump ahead and go into it. So Diggle shows up in this episode. It's awesome. He has some great scenes. We discussed this, that scene in the pipeline was really, really good. And like, lots of people have been very adamantly against the pep talks recently, because there's been a lot, right? And people are saying like, this is like one of the best ones, and it's because of their chemistry, because of their relationship, even though they haven't appeared together like every episode or something. It's like 10 times, 10 plus times, something like that they've been on screen together. And so, I think the dynamic is really good. So what do you think of Diggle in this episode?
So I thought about it after we did the after party, and what I think makes that pep talk scene different from like any other pep talk scene is it isn't coming from the same people. Like, there's this bubble of pep talks that just keeps like being recycled between our characters. Like, as much as I love Joe has given the same pep talk like probably 20 times in the course of the show. So it's only so many times you can change what the pep talk is. Coming from Diggle, it felt different, because not only is Diggle not a regular cast member, but he's someone that Barry respects. He's also someone that's been around for a long time. So having him talk to Barry about family, especially after what Barry did to Diggle's family, which, if you remember, he erased their child and changed the child. So there was a level of, I don't know, like emotional resonance between them that you couldn't have achieved with anybody else on the cast. So I think that, number one, that set it apart differently. Secondly, David Ramsey's really good. I don't know, like, I always thought he was good on Arrow. But he's a lot better than I thought he was, like, in terms of like just his acting ability. Like, he came in and he is working with one person that he's worked with before. Because remember, a lot of these team members are people that he's never worked with before. And he absolutely killed it, in my opinion. So having him on the show was like this. I almost feel like this was a turning point for Flash this season, because having Diggle there sort of turned that corner of, is the season going to end on a high? Okay, maybe it is because Diggle's there and he refreshed everybody's enthusiasm for the Flash. So I thought he was great on there, and I honestly wouldn't mind if he came back and did like more guest spots. He felt very at home with Team Flash, almost like a father figure type character where he came in and he had that same level of like father figure, feeling as like the Wells characters did on the show, which I think maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're just missing Wells because he's always the one that's sort of like the father figure type character, but other than Joe. But it did feel a lot like Diggle had this father figure type thing, and he was giving them good advice as a leader. And I don't know. I really liked it. I'd love for him to come back again.
No, me too. I think all of the scenes was really good, and I mean, Cal's super chat is mainly about Green Lantern, so we move on to we'll move on to that now. So he has these headaches, and they get progressively worse and worse throughout the episode. He has like 2 episodes, headache episodes, like severe ones, and you're like, okay, something's wrong. And then like, okay, like the line was a little cringy, but like Cecile felt, the way that he was feeling, and she was like, your headache, it feels infinite. And I'm like, okay, sure thing. Like, yeah. So that was like an obvious point that with it feeling infinite, something greater is going on, and they are 100% teasing Green Lantern or some other big.
If they're not, this is a huge mistake. Like, they need to lead up to before Diggle is gone from this season of shows, because I know he's got some more appearances. He needs to be wearing that ring, and he needs to be Green Lantern. Whether he keeps it or not is up to him. But I think that we need to see him doing something with the ring, because this is too much at this point. Like, this would be like the worst thing possible. Like, I think, because we know that it's running over multiple shows. Like, we know he's getting a storyline over multiple shows. Do you think if he leaves the series or leaves the Arrowverse for this season and doesn't actually put that ring on, do you think people would be pissed off? And I think the answer is yes for me. I think people would be really mad at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't think I would be like super mad as long as they set it up like even more than this. I feel like this was a good first step. I mean, I didn't, apparently Legends was like, it didn't matter that he showed up. He was just like an extra character or something. But Batwoman, same thing, but like on a much smaller level. And I know that in Supergirl, he shot some stuff outside with with Kelly, sorry. But I don't know, like from the outside, we haven't seen anything, but I would presume they would do that.
And they actually highlighted the green on his suit. I mean, it's always been there, but you could see it in so many shots on the Flash.
Oh, yeah. And they had lights inside his helmet that was green. So, like, it was like 100% they're teasing it. But I'm not convinced they're going to show him as Green Lantern by the end of the season or with the ring. But we'll have to wait and see. They're definitely teasing it.
In my dream world would be that they show him getting the ring and accepting it and having him fly into space. And the next time we see him is on the HBO Max Green Lantern show. That would make me really happy. That would make me really, really happy.
Great. But I'm not convinced. I don't know. We'll see what goes on. But thanks so much for the super chat, Cal. And remember, for all of you guys who are watching currently, if you do have any questions you want to send in via super chats, now is the time to do it. Eric is going to be around for a while. However, it's just going to be me towards later in the stream. So send it in now if you want Eric's opinion on whatever your question or like topic or idea is.
I'll give like a 5-minute warning before I have to go. So
yeah, so start sending them in if you have any specific ideas that you want to get Eric's thoughts on. But I guess with that, so we've talked about Godspeed, Ultraviolet, Diggle. I guess we can move on to Bart Allen because
you want to skip over the Joe and Kramer stuff?
I mean, okay, we can quickly go over the Joe and Kramer stuff. Like overall, my thoughts is, I like Joe. I like his scenes. Kramer, I said this. I think she's a little bit over the top sometimes, but I don't have like a huge problem with this storyline compared to the Ultraviolet storyline. I just think it's a bit meh. I don't know how to describe it. It's like,
you know what? You know the issue I have with the storyline. Probably the biggest issue I have with it. I mean, it's fine if they want to do it. I don't understand Joe's motivations. What is Joe's
Yeah.
motivations here with this? It's almost like a light switch, because remember, he was so adamantly against what she was doing, and then he gets a piece of paper and all of a sudden he's her best friend. He's got her back and he's out in the field with her, risking his life. What are his motivations for this? What's more important? Is his family not important? You have Godspeed's attacking the city. You have all this stuff going on. His daughter is obviously sick. He's out in the woods with Kramer. Like, I don't understand his motivations, and that's probably why I don't care about the story. That's probably the biggest issue I have with it.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, you know, Joe is like, he's a great like detective and stuff, and like, you know, he has to go for justice, and this is like finding justice. But again, he's working for someone that he kind of despises, and has
he
been
lost
really
his job to this person.
Yeah,
he quit, and they took his job.
Yeah, literally. So
this person is actively trying to hunt metahumans. Like, half of his family are metahuman. Like, it's his son, Wally, Barry, Caitlin, and Frost, who are like almost like another daughter to him. Like, what are his motivations here? I don't understand.
Yeah. No, I don't fully understand. And it's weird that it's completely disconnected. Like, the only connective tissue is like they reference in the episode, oh, Joe is gone like for a couple of hours. He hasn't contacted me. Oh, no. And then they kind of forget about it again.
Which, by the way, a couple of hours doesn't make sense chronologically on the show, because it's clear the Godspeed War has been going on for at least a day. And when Joe is on the phone trying to call them while all that's going on, it's still nighttime, which means it was like literally right after their thing happened. But it seems like a whole day had passed back in Central City. And so chronologically, it didn't add up. It's just a really weird side story. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it, but I don't like Kramer. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Gary's in jail?
Gary's in jail, apparently. Cal was like, where's Gary? Gary's in jail. Yes, Gary's in jail, probably. Oh, or shaving his legs. Who knows?
Yeah. So are we ready to talk about the ending now? The big scene of the
end? I guess we can move on to the big stuff. So you guys in the chat, let us know Bart Allen, Nora returning, overall thoughts on it. And now, Eric, you go. Overall thoughts, and we can go into specifics as well.
So I have always been super critical of Nora since season 5. I felt like she was kind of an insufferable character for me, but I know there's a lot of people that loved her. I just thought that she was kind of written in a weird way, and so it just became kind of annoying or whatever. I already like this Nora better in just a little bit of time that we've had her, because she doesn't feel the same. She feels different. Like, it's almost like they're bringing a different energy with her character. Bart feels more like Nora, but now we have a balance, because before we had Nora being Nora with no counterbalance. Like, there was no person sort of balancing out that energy. So now we have Nora, who seems like she's going to be the character that's annoyed by Bart, who's going to be more like Nora was. So now we actually have a story to tell. So I like the idea of these two characters kind of balancing each other out. And I don't know. When they came through, I'm like, this is the Flash family that I wanted, not those stupid forces. The forces felt so dumb. Like, this feels real, because this is supposed to be their real kids. So it feels natural. It feels like a real progression. The Force kids were stupid. So I like it. I'm excited for it. This makes me really excited for the next episode. It's the 150. It's the 150. It's a big episode. So I'm just really, really hyped for it.
Yeah, I can't wait. And you're right. Like, okay, so they're doing these two family storylines, and they've also got the Ultraviolet family stuff. So it's all like very family orientated.
Yeah.
This is the family we want to see, right? We want to see Barry's family, his real family, you know, not some like, you know, nothing against those guys or anyone against, like, I mean, you know, even Barry's adopted, but like this stuff, what we have with the Forces, it was very like meta. How would you describe it? It's like
the Forces aren't even real people. That's the thing. That's what gets me, is they're inhabiting the bodies of people. So that's what makes it really weird to me. This is, if the Forces were constructs like Nora, like the Nora Force is literally the Force itself looking like Nora. The other three are people that have been taken over by the Forces. It wasn't like they picked Barry's dad or Wally or someone else in their family. So
yeah. I don't know, but it's nice to see them finally arrive. And you're right. I feel like it's going to be good with the two of them, Bart and Nora, and maybe they're going to balance each other out. Do you think that they are the Tornado Twins? I would
No.
presume they're twins, but I presume they're twins, right?
No, they're not. Nora's older than Bart.
Oh, you're 100% sure?
Paige and I both. I can't remember where we saw it at, but I think it's in maybe the trailer. Somewhere she refers to him as not. They're not the same age. So they may be a version of the Tornado Twins, but they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna call themselves the Tornado Twins.
Okay.
So we'd have to. I'm pretty sure. Maybe the chat can correct me or not, but I'm pretty sure that when I talked with Paige about it, I was like, I don't think the Tornado Twins. I think Nora is older, and Paige's like, yeah, she's confirmed to be older. So I was like, okay, well, I guess she's not. I don't. If they call themselves the Tornado Twins, they're not biologically twins. So yeah, that's as far as I know.
Yeah, I only kind of presumed that because their lightning colors split. So I was like, okay, so is this like
they
a
may be
thing?
They might be. I'm not, like I said, I'm not 100% on it.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, I'm like 60% sure that they're not, but I don't know 100%. So
yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we'll get some more explanation next episode because the end of this episode was just like a teaser for next episode. It was
Nora looks older though. Like I know it's acting and they're not the same age, but she definitely looks older.
Hairstyle's a bit different.
Yeah,
something about that. But for me, I know lots of people, and I think you included. Everyone was saying that like Nora feels a bit different.
Baby bro, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Daniel, Jessica said baby bro on her Instagram. So
okay, so that kind of gives that away. But yeah, lots of people were saying that Nora feels different. For me, when she showed up, I was just, I guess maybe I need to rewatch it, but I was kind of caught up in it. And I was like, oh, it's like Nora again. That's super cool. But then I know you were like, oh, it feels a bit different. Like, so why do you think she feels different? Do you think she's actually changed? Or like it's a different version of Nora?
So we know that the Nora that we knew was erased from existence. She erased herself by the stuff that she was doing, right? So we know that's a fact. So this Nora was different. And we also know that Barry and Iris would have raised this Nora with the memories of the previous Nora.
Of course.
So she probably knows about that previous version of herself because of her parents. That's really the only way she would know. But also, if she's got a baby brother, she probably had to be a more adult sibling.
For sure.
Because typically, if you're an older sibling and you've got a baby sibling or whatever, you basically become like I'm the older brother between me and my brother, so I know what it's like to take care of like your parents want to go out for dinner and you're the one watching. So I think that also changed her slightly. So I don't think she's going to be completely different, but I think she's going to be very different. So I would expect that she's probably going to be a bit more mature. Whereas Bart is going to be allowed to be the one that's not quite as mature. That's what I think.
For sure. Like, I think there is going to be a difference. And I think it was especially obvious when Bart came out and he was like super energetic. Like, it felt like it was a bit over the top, but I was kind of expecting that because Bart
that's
is
true to his character. That's his character in the comic. So
I thought like maybe they're pushing it a little bit when he came out and did like the stretch.
Instead of sway, he said crash. This is so Crash. And I'm like,
this is Crash.
And I'm not going to speak about any other actors, but there's certain actors that think saying taglines is corny and that you shouldn't have to do it. But the fans love it when you do. You don't have to do it one time.
Yeah, one time we'll see. Okay, let's answer Scott's super chat.
All right.
So Scott sends in a $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much for the support, Scott. Scott says, what's your hero lineup prediction for Flash Season 8 event? What do you think the percentage of Kara being in it is? I say 50-50. So there's like two parts of that. Let's talk about Kara. He says 50-50. I'm going to say the schedules can line up for sure because they're going to be starting the Flash at least in the next few weeks. I would say like maybe 2 weeks from now, I would presume. And Supergirl is still filming. I believe that they move on to the finale in about 2 weeks' time. So they'll be shooting for at least like maybe a month more Supergirl
Yeah.
will be. So they will be around, and so Melissa will be in Vancouver. However, schedules might not align, and she is going to be very busy with shooting the finale and the last episode before that. So I would say personally, I think I would love it to happen. I really want one final crossover with Supergirl and the Flash because they are my favorite duo crossing over. Obviously, I love the Flash and Arrow, but personally, I just really connect to these two. But I'm going to say it's unlikely. I'm not going to give like a 50-50 or anything.
You want to know why I think it's unlikely?
Why?
I think Kara is going to leave at the end of her season.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to be on Earth. I think she's going to, well, she might be on Earth. I don't think she's going to be in this time. I think she's going to go to the future and be part of the Legion because that's where Supergirl's known for that. So I would not be surprised if they decide to go with a classic story and do that with her. Besides that, the Legion has been very almost like just this weird admiration for Supergirl. Remember when they came back, they said that she's like the character that they look to. Yeah. So what better way to pay tribute to that than to go to the future? And then also Mon-El's in the future. And so, I mean, I would love to see her on the Flash, but I think the easiest way to take Supergirl out of the equation so that she doesn't have to be around all the time is take her to the future. That way, if you want to bring her back for a huge crossover, you can. But who knows? She might be the catalyst for the next crossover. Maybe there's something from the future that's affecting the past or whatever, and she comes back for the crossover. That would make sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see her if she's still in reality. They're not going to kill her off. Number one, we know they're not going to kill off Supergirl. Yeah. If she's not going to be available to be doing things, it makes no sense for her to just be on Earth Prime and not help out with stuff once in a while. It just doesn't make any sense. She's across the water from Central City. Yeah,
they're going to want to take her out of the equation and they're not going to kill her. Melissa said that the writers and everyone, they asked for her opinion on how she wants it to end. And apparently she's requested one thing very specific. And I definitely think that is to not kill her off because what's the point? It's not like a crisis situation where Oliver has to...
It's all in her own individual season. Like, how would you... Yeah. If Supergirl died, that would be a huge, massive thing. And so there's no way to do that without having everyone come together. And I don't think they're going to be able to do that. So...
And we've talked about our hero lineup for the Flash Season 8 crossover a couple of times. But I'll just reiterate quick. I think Stargirl, Black Lightning is possible because I know Crest was in talks.
Yep.
Batwoman... So Javicia Leslie, Superman, that will be awesome. I really
maybe White Canary,
I think White Canary. So that's 5. And the way that I presume they're doing the crossover is 5 episodes with different characters because logistically it's easy. But it would be awesome if they could have 5 episodes straight, all with the same story. Like
that would be great.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to get Tyler Hoechlin to film for however many weeks.
5 episodes. Yeah, that's like a month worth of filming. Yeah.
That's like 2 months worth of filming or something. So I doubt that they can have them all.
Unless they film all their scenes in 1 week and then chop it up over 5 episodes.
Yeah, I guess they could have like all the scenes of Superman 1 week, all the scenes of Stargirl 1 week, and then
they could do that, but that would be rough, but they could do it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, this is my 5-minute warning, guys, because I have to go in 5 minutes. So I'm going to see Black Widow. So
he's going to see Black Widow, guys. He is excused. I've seen it. It's a good film. I'm sure most of you guys are going to like it. So, all right. Let's answer this super chat from Mike Glenn, who sends in a $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Mike. Mike says, Nora will be more easygoing without family tragedy.
That's true. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Her family tragedy was worrying about Barry going missing because she never grew up with Barry.
He disappeared, right? Yeah, he disappeared, never came back.
So that's a huge giveaway. I totally forgot about that. But this version of Nora has grown up with Barry.
Right, yeah. That's what I was saying. She that's what I was saying earlier, that she's grown up with her family and they've probably told her about everything that's happened. So
yeah. No, I completely agree. And I think that's a great point, Mike. So thanks for bringing that up. And I mean, Eric's talked about this earlier.
And she got to train with her parents instead of Reverse Flash, which is another
exactly.
thing.
And like she maybe didn't even meet Reverse Flash in this
Probably
version.
not. I would say probably not.
Because I think in the other version she went to Reverse Flash for help because she needed like that.
But she
training,
wouldn't need to this time. He would just be locked up because of that. Yeah.
To take down Godspeed and everything. And also Barry in this episode did mention that like Nora's old nemesis was Godspeed. And with that version of Nora changed, I definitely think that they are like excused from, like including
the other thing
that
is,
version.
During the after party, Paigey said he wasn't sure why the twins or the siblings were back in our time period. If Godspeed is their Reverse Flash, then that would explain why they're doing it, because they're probably tracking him down.
Yeah,
because Godspeed to them would be the equivalent of Reverse Flash to Barry, I would think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's like the two of their like big Reverse Flash enemy. Sorry, like a nemesis.
And since there's two of them, that would explain why he needs multiple clones to fight them, because there's two of them.
No, it would make sense. Okay, so thank you very much, Mike, for the super chat. Let's talk about like the final topic, really.
Okay.
Before you have to go. So just quickly about we got the 2-part finale coming. Super exciting. The 150th episode is a big deal. Arrow did the documentary style like Office episode,
which was actually really good. I remember that.
That was a good episode. Like I did like it. It was very like It was like self-knowing. They're like, oh yeah, like this is a show, blah blah blah. There's cameras, camera people. So that was a big deal on Arrow. Now it's going to be a big deal. Basically, I think what they're doing is it's like a reverse of the Flash's 100th episode, where all the old villains came, and this time it's all the good speedsters facing off against the new bad speedster. So I think it's going to be exciting. We got Jay coming. The trailer teased special guests. I don't know if there's going to be anyone else. Obviously,
I hope it's Wally, but I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be Wally. That would be perfect. If Wally comes back, that would be so good.
That would be so good. And I don't know if by saying special guests, are they saying like more than Jay and more than, Reverse Flash?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, do you think it's anyone else apart from them?
I don't know. Wouldn't it be crazy? Just think about this for a second. Wouldn't it be crazy if Reverse Flash comes back and has to help the Flash family defeat Godspeed, like he's fighting with them against Godspeed? Oh,
what would be the reason? Like,
that would be so brilliant. So maybe Godspeed getting infinite velocity is a threat to him as the Reverse Flash.
Yeah, that would make sense if there's like one.
Because no one knows the Speed Force better than him. He's literally the Speed Force god, basically. Like he knows everything you can do with the Speed Force, or the negative Speed Force, I should say. So, because he wouldn't have been affected, the negative Speed Force would still have been around. So when the Speed Force died, it wouldn't have changed anything for him, I don't think. So,
yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. But
all right, so I've got to get out of here. So I've got to go. So
that pretty much wraps up. Thanks for coming.
So no problem. You guys have a good chat with Ben. Thank you for having me. I'm going to go watch Black Widow. Hopefully I enjoy it. And I'll let you know. So anyway, all right. Well, take care, everybody.
All right. See you in a bit. Okay, guys. So it's just us all alone. I wanted to remind you guys, if you haven't stayed track with me over the last couple of months, we do this new thing with our members. This last members call was really fun because we were all playing like video games together and stuff. And so basically, to become a member of the channel, all you have to do is click the join button. And if you become a member, you can join our monthly Zoom calls. So it's just like us. It's like me. Nathan's always there. Nathan's in the chat right now. We have like Arrowverse scenes. Flash first shows up. Jamie Harley, who is normally always in the live streams. So it's like a bunch of the members and me, and we just talk about the shows. We talk about anything. Like this time, like I said, oh look, Nathan's in the chat. We were playing a video game for a very special video that's coming up. Nathan actually has a cameo in it, just saying. But yeah, so if you want to join and talk to me in a video call, just like FaceTime or something, but we just do it on Zoom. All you need to do, and I'm going to pop up on the screen here, is you click on the join button, and you can pause that annoying video of me, and you can choose your tier membership, and you can join on any of the tiers. Much appreciated. If you support as little or as big as possible, that's awesome. And you can join, and anyone is available to come and join our members calls. And even if you're a member and then you have to stop being a member, you're still going to be invited because you're supporting the channel. So thank you guys so much for all of you who are members and who do support the channel. But for now, we're heading into the last like 10 minutes or so of the live stream. So please be sure to send in your final super chat questions that you have, and I'm going to go ahead and answer some of them. I have a few last topics that I'm going to be discussing, but now it's mainly going to be about you guys. So if you have anything specific you want me to touch on before the end of the stream, like about the 150th episode, about the finale, about season 8 or anything, please be sure to send it in right now, and also just send them in via the chat if you have anything specific. So let's go ahead and answer some stuff. So Unspeakable BG says, Ben, how do you think Reverse Flash is going to return? And how do you think Nora is going to act about his return? So I'm not entirely sure. Like Eric just said, I think the most likely option is basically he's going to show up because Godspeed wants infinite velocity and is maybe threatening Reverse Flash from being as fast as he can. And so I think that is very likely that he shows up just to stop him getting infinite speed. And so I think that's very likely, because I don't think there is inherently something within him where he's like, oh, I want to be a hero or something. Like, it's got to be an instance where he has to, save himself or like make something better for himself. So yeah, I think that's kind of what's going to be going on with Reverse Flash. So good question. Okay. I don't know if Daddy likes the metal. Do you think Daddy likes the metal? That is a mystery. Potentially. What do we know about the story of the 150th episode, Ethan asks? So we know bits and pieces, but pretty much it's going to be a continuation from this week's episode. Obviously, the 150th episode is happening next Tuesday, so get excited. That's going to be the next review. And if you missed my review this week, it's up on the channel, and leave a link. It's going to be like popping up on the screen on the top right. But yeah, so it's going to be continuing on from that. They're going to be defeating the clones. I think they're probably going to defeat the clones. And then you're going to have like the real introduction of the real Godspeed from the future. The kind of main person who has orchestrated all of this. Like, obviously one team is against him. One team is for him. They're going to have their fight. I think they're probably going to defeat each other. And obviously like the Flash and the Flash family are like stuck in the middle of all of this. And so that's what's kind of going to happen in the 150th episode. Obviously, you got Bart and Nora, and they've got their reasons for showing up in the past. So, yeah, they're going to be, taking on Godspeed as well with the Flash. And also, it must be mentioned that Jay's scene in the trailer, like Jay Garrick, what happens in his scene is he is in his lab. So, and I think his lab is on another Earth. So I'm kind of confused. Have they like gone after him, or is Jay's lab now suddenly on Earth Prime? And for some reason, I think either way, basically what I'm trying to get to is I think they're going to go after Jay at some point for his speed. Like, they're going after people's speed. That is for sure. Although it's a bit confusing why they were like, trying to take on different people, like in like regular people's houses. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so that's kind of one thing that is happening. Sorry, I'm just moving the slide. But yeah, so like I said, send in your last questions if you have anything specific you want me to talk about. But pretty much they're going to be wrapping up the Godspeed storyline in no time. We got that to look forward to. That's obviously going to be really cool, and I very much so look forward to it. We're also going to be delving into the kids and, finding out more about Bart. That's going to be super exciting. Finding out about like their future, how this Nora is different. Obviously, like I said, when Eric was here, yes, for sure, like she's going to be different because she's had her father. And so there is going to be some major differences. I think Nathan says, I think Godspeed was caught up by the time changing in season 5 and was kicked out of time altogether and has become a paradox. Guess that is probably very likely, and that's a good theory, Nathan. So keep that in mind, guys. Maybe that's gonna be the way it goes down. Cal Roswell sends in a super chat. Thank you very much for the other super chat, Cal. Sends in a $4.99 super chat, and Cal says, "Do you think Superman will be in the Supergirl series finale?" Now, this is something that I would love, and I would love like Grant to show up as the Flash. Like I said, that is like one of my favorite relationships in the entire Arrowverse, and it's something that I would be like heads over hill if this actually happened. However, I think due to the current circumstances, like I think if there wasn't any virus going on, like even with people getting vaccinated and stuff, I think right now scheduling is very hard because there is quarantine in effect in Canada, and the risk of spreading the virus is like still pretty risky to cross over like an entire like crew or. But I think mainly in terms of like scheduling, I don't know if it's going to work, and I don't know Supergirl's like story for the ending of the season. But it of course would be awesome to see Superman show up in the series finale and also the Flash. But I don't know how likely it is. I think there's a possibility that some of the Supergirl characters end up showing up on like Superman and Lois at some point. I think that's a possibility. I would really like a spin-off, like another Supergirl spin-off, maybe something to do with Nia or to do with Legion, and then like Nia and Brainy can show up. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see about all of this. But you guys, let me know. Do you want to see Superman in the series finale of Supergirl? So the final episode ever of Supergirl, and yeah. I'm still like kind of shocked. Like, how is Supergirl ending? Like, I mean, they're going into like I think they're on the penultimate episode right now that they're filming, and then they're gonna be done filming soon. Like, yeah, the series finale of Supergirl isn't going to like properly air until November, which is a long time away. However, it's still kind of crazy to think that Supergirl is gonna be gone. Like, anyway, at least we got Superman and Lois that's really good right now. So that kind of makes up for it for me because, as you guys know, I don't really keep up to date with a lot of the other Arrowverse shows because I just haven't really fallen in love with them. I think Stargirl is like the next best thing after The Flash, Supergirl, and Superman and Lois. Like, I watched all of season 1. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next season. I even want to cover it on my channel. Hopefully you guys... I mean, if you guys want me to cover Stargirl, you got to watch the videos, you got to show interest. So we'll see how it goes with like episode 1 of season 2, which I'll cover. And if you all tune in, of course I'm going to make videos. Of course, that's always a thing. And, it's a good thing recently with Superman and Lois because a lot of you guys are very interested in the show. So you watch the videos, you're like, oh, what's going on? Like, what's Ben's thoughts? What's, and like another example is like, what's Eric's thoughts, what's Paige's thoughts, and so you watch their videos, and that's all very exciting. And obviously I love Superman and Lois right now, so yeah. Okay, but thank you so much, Cal, for the super chat, and your support is much appreciated towards the channel. Also remember, don't spam in the chat, otherwise Flash first, my moderator, is going to mute you. just for a little bit. So please don't do that because I'm trying to read the chat as well. But thank you so much for the support, Cal. And remember, you guys, we're going to be ending the stream sometime in the next like 5 minutes or so. So send in those final super chats if you have anything in mind at all, or you just want to support. Please be sure to do it right now. Now is the time. I'll give you a couple minutes if you want to do that. But we got a couple of comments you go over. Nathan says, I think in the final episode of Supergirl, she's announced to the heroes that she's going to the future, and so she has a gathering of heroes saying goodbye. Yeah, that's my exact thoughts, Nathan. I think that's like the best way for them to go for the for the show to end. Like, that is just exactly how I would imagine it. Anyway, that's what, yeah. I ignored it again, shaking my head. What did I do? Oh shit, I just started. Ben, Thorn helps Barry because if he doesn't, Barry can die. Thornton can't risk because if Barry dies, they will never go back to the night Nora Allen dies. That's actually true. You know, I never thought of that. Flashverse, like, that's actually interesting. Like, he needs that to happen, otherwise that night wouldn't happen, and that night is pretty important even for him. So yeah, no, that is very good. So thanks very much for that, Flashverse. Okay, last couple of things. Do you think the story with the Red Death will happen? I think Bruce Wayne vanished was a way to find information to merge himself with Speedster. I'm not entirely sure. I know this teaser has been going around for a while, and you know, something that people want. I want it, but I don't know how likely it is, to be honest. But thanks for the question, Konstantin. Mike Glenn sends in another super chat. Thank you so much for the support, Mike. Mike says, who is the big bad on Supergirl now? So we've had 7 episodes of Supergirl so far. Obviously, like, it's been a while, and I made a Supergirl video the other day. Maybe you guys checked it out. I realized that was the first video I made in like a couple of weeks. And like, you know, I always make Supergirl videos, but there's like barely anything coming out. Like, they're filming stuff, but it's mainly behind closed doors at the moment. So there isn't too much to go over. However, we did get 7 episodes when Superman and Lois was off. What went down in those 7 episodes? Oh yeah, no, it was the Phantom Zone storyline. And see, I had to remember, like, it's been a while since I watched. But so it's the Phantom Zone storyline. The only big bad that we have coming back, obviously we have Lex later in the season. But the only kind of big bad that we know of right now is Nixley. Even though she was kind of good, and then like now she's kind of turned bad, but I don't know if she's like fully bad. So Nixley is the only person I know of right now. I have no ideas like of Supergirl's like future plans for the end of the season. Like, say they defeat Nixley pretty early on, I think is a possibility. Who they're gonna take on as the main final villain, I have no idea. But Supergirl is back now. She's back on Earth. That's exciting. The next episode, episode 8, which comes out at the end of August, is titled Welcome Back, Kara. She's obviously going to be back on Earth. We know that her uncle is going to be in the episode, which is obviously her real Kryptonian dad, Zor-El. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I don't have all the information about like the end of the last episode of the season. Oh, sorry, the last couple of episodes. But thanks so much for the super chat, Mike. Okay, that pretty much does it for this live stream, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. It was a really good live stream. Obviously, we talked about a lot of stuff. And I mean, I try and get to everyone's questions, but there's a lot of questions. And as I say, like, the best way always every week, every Thursday, is to send in super chats, because, you know, we're going to instantly answer them because we do have a lot of topics. But like, it's been pretty fun, like, answering these questions at the end of the stream. And you're right, Flashverse is coming up. But yeah, okay, let's answer one last question before we head off. Okay, just like one more. Unspeakable BG says, Ben, who will be the villain for the season 8 crossover? Will it be the person who was at the end of the new Justice League? I suppose you mean Darkseid. No, it's not going to be Darkseid. Darkseid's way too big. Like, I don't think that's happening. So for the season 8 crossover, I have a pretty strong feeling that it's going to be like individual episodes. So I'm not sure if there's going to be like one overarching big bad where like Superman's going to show up and it's going to be like, okay, I'm going to fight with the Flash, but then like I'm just going to leave. And then the next episode Stargirl comes, and then the next episode Batwoman comes. So I don't know if there's going to be like a big villain. Obviously, Gleek was the villain that was teased at the end of Crisis, but we haven't had any follow-up from that since that ending. So I guess there's a chance it could be that. But yeah, that's pretty much my answer. I'm not entirely sure right now. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this live stream, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to join us again next Thursday. We stream every Thursday at around 9:15 p.m. GMT, aka 4:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's New York time. So yeah, join us next Thursday as we talk about, the 150th episode and, what's going to be happening in the finale of The Flash. I think we might have Superman Lois back. I'm not sure. I need to double check on that. But for now, go check out my latest videos. I'm going to have a link at the top of the screen right now so that you can watch my last video. But go check out all my reviews and stuff this week. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Go check out Eric's channel as well. It's going to be in this link in the description below. So I'll catch you guys later.